The 2023 Birmingham Stallions are officially USFL champions. This marks them being back-to-back title winners, having won both titles in the modern USFL era. This team, since like midway through the season, has just looked unstoppable. They look like they did last year before their loss to the Gamblers, and that's the most dominant team in the league. And well, they proved it in the title game. Look, for how much crap we give the Maulers offense, you have to have a really good defense to only allow 12 points in a title game with the stat line the defense pulled up. They had a solo tackle in so many plays. They had 44 solo tackles, which is awesome. 6 sacks, 9 TFLs, and 6 pass deflections. Remember, it's not like the Maulers even had that many plays, so the fact that the Stallions are able to have that many solo tackles, sacks, pass deflections, and TFLs is incredible. Then you look at Magoo. The MVP proved why he was MVP again. A second straight dominating performance. A 142 passer rating. 4 TDs, 9.7 yards per attempt, 240 passing, 72%, 18 and 25. Incredible. And on the ground, he was the team's leading rusher. Yeah, he had that one long 23-yard rush, but overall he had 64 yards on a 7 yards per carry. Maribel and Person both did have one 15-yard run to, up their average and ended with 6 averages and 6.3. But overall, they combined for an obscene 23 of 150, 6.5 average, which is incredible. Then your championship game MVP, Deon Kane, 4 receptions, 70 yards, 3 touchdowns. Unbelievable. I mean, hey, this team was so dominant that even their kicker has been dominant, as he's the first player to sign to an NFL team, as he just signed to the Cowboys yesterday, which is incredible. And then we have, of course, the team stats throughout the season. You want to know how this team was dominant? They were number 1 in yards, punt net average, and third down percentage. Number 2 in passing yards a game. Number 3 in points allowed. Number 3 in rush yards per game. And number 3 in touchback percentage. They were great at both the air and the ground. They had a great defense. Were solid at special teams. Their only real weakness was that they were a bit lower on turnover differential because they didn't get a lot of turnovers. And then the other issue was that they just didn't return kicks that well or punts. Those were their weaknesses. Anything a team can really expose, they weren't that bad at. They were great at everything that they did. Once they got rid of basically doing any turnovers, this team was unstoppable. They had the best offense. They had one of the best defenses. They were consistent and great. This team, a lot of people wrote them off early in the year just because their starting quarterback and running back got hurt. But everyone seems to forget that both those guys weren't even the starters last year for the beginning of the year. And then once you get to the other player in a guy like, Scooby Wright, he wasn't healthy the whole year last year either. So overall, you still had a really solid team that was basically like last year's team that got to prove why these guys were starters. And so because of that, the Stallions have become back-to-back champions. They are dominant. So congrats to the Birmingham Stallions being back-to-back champions. Maybe someone will beat you next year. We'll see.
Birmingham Stallions, congratulations, back to back.